Welcome back. My name is Cindy, and on this channel, I help you to pinpoint ways on how to improve your romantic and parental relationships. In this video, I will be reviewing Married at First Sight, Season 12, Episode 5. So be sure to like this video, subscribe, and click that notification bell. So the season is heating up and there is a lot going on. And I just cannot believe some of the things that are happening on this show this season. Let's jump right in. So let's start with the most boring couple, Jake and Haley. They're boring. Their conversation is boring. They didn't have any exciting activities. She said that she had a serious relationship at 15. Like, honestly, you don't know yourself at 15. So this is probably your first serious relationship since you haven't dated in 7 years. And that was like when you were 21. And she seems to be warming up to Jake. So we'll just have to see how this pans out. I mean, even the kiss at the aquarium seemed boring and dry. So that's it for Haley and Jacob. Next, we have Ryan and Clara. Clara was actually not that annoying this episode, but she did say how she was a messy person. I mean, is anybody surprised? Her suitcase last week, it was a clear indication that she's just kind of all over the place. And I think it's going to be a real challenge when they actually move in together. She made a point about not wanting to feel like she moved into his house, and that's a very valid point, because when you get married and either or, whether the woman moves in with the man or the man moves in with the woman, it's always kind of weird to feel like this is really not my home. And I think the best option would be to just get a home, a new home together that you can start fresh. So moving in together as a couple is a big deal. It could actually make or break the relationship. So it's going to be interesting to see how they come together when it's time to move in with each other. I did not know dolphins eat 20 pounds of fish. Like, that was crazy and fun activity, a great memory to have on their honeymoon. Ryan may seem stiff, but he's very thoughtful. I thought the question that he asked Claire about what she would want to take and pass down from her parents to their children was a very interesting question. And the topic of religion resurfaced. I think that's a huge topic that they need to really tackle and address, because waiting until after the kids get here is not a good time to talk about how we're going to raise them, especially when it comes to religion. Clara said something about she wants the children to be able to choose. I mean, how are they going to do that? It is the parents' job to lay the foundation down for their children. They're not going to be old enough anytime soon to say, oh, I want this religion versus that religion. So they're going to have to make that decision together as parents. It's understandable that Ryan would want to have Christ be a part of their lives. I mean, both of his parents are ministers and he grew up in the church, and there's really nothing wrong with growing up in the church. So I really hope that they're going to explore this more in the upcoming episodes. Next, we have Eric and Virginia. We start out with Virginia putting on makeup and curling her hair just to go to the pool, which was really odd. And she was telling Eric how she is late to work every single day. She's pretty much late all the time. That is super annoying. I hate for people to be late, and I think it's going to get on Eric's nerves. And she just seems really irresponsible and immature. He was pretty much way more assertive in this episode, because in the prior episodes he was going along to get along, but this episode he was pretty much letting her know what his intentions were and what his expectations were. She started to talk about her male friends, and it was almost like she was trying to make it out to seem like her friends were more important than her husband. I can understand where Eric is coming from. What husband wants their wife to be hanging out with male friends? And seeing that Virginia likes to drink, who knows what can happen. So I could totally understand where Eric was coming from, and I hope that she will take into consideration that she's married now. Eric is extremely infatuated with Virginia. He probably hasn't had any attention or affection in a long time, and the fact that she's very touchy-feely and all up in his face, he's really enjoying that. But that lust is going to fade away. She has a lot of growing up to do, and I'm not sure that she is going to get it together in order to make this marriage work. They had a beautiful dinner with an amazing view that was so sweet and so romantic. And during dinner, they were having conversations, and it came up that Eric is gone for about 15 days out of the month, which is pretty much half the month. And Virginia actually brought up a mature adult situation because she said, you know, seeing that you'll be gone for that long, if we have children and, you know, they happen to be playing sports and you're gone, then I'm going to feel like a married single mom. And I can completely understand where she's coming from with that, because that lifestyle of being married, but, you know, basically taking care of the children and always being the one that has to make decisions and be there full time can get exhausting. So that was an actual valid point that she made. But Eric was really letting her know how he's willing and ready to support her, whether she wants to work or not work. He's got her. Like, he's ready to step up and be the husband that he needs to be in order to make sure that she feels like she's being taken care of. But I think the being gone 15 days is a lot, and I'm not sure how they're going to navigate that. But seeing that Virginia likes to party, I think she's going to make that work, because I'm sure she's going to be counting down the days for Eric to leave so she can go ahead and be with her friends, party, drink, and just be a whole hot mess anyway. Let's talk about my favorite couple, Vincent and Brianna. Their connection is just so natural and beautiful to watch. I thought it was so sweet and romantic when he picked her up on the beach before they had dinner and they were having conversations. They are having such a good time together. They enjoy each other's company, and it was really refreshing to see him open up and let Brianna know how he was feeling about her, his hopes and dreams for their marriage. Vincent is all the way in love, and I am all the way here for it. And I am so excited to see how their love story is going to continue to unfold. Like he mentioned, they both came into the process knowing what they want, and they wanted similar things, and they are very supportive of each other. They are flourishing. He adores Brianna. They're actually, you know, really laying down a solid foundation for a successful marriage. But it was interesting that Vincent made mention about how he does not want to entertain other people. And I'm wondering if he was feeling guilty in that moment, because I'm sure when Brianna sees how he was acting at that bachelor party, she's not going to be happy. But I do feel like he is serious when he talks to Brianna. He is serious about their relationship, their marriage, and getting to know each other and really building towards a really positive and healthy marriage. And I am so excited for them. Bree sat down with Paige and she gave her really sound advice. Like, girl, you really need to worry about your life. Basically, you know, run. She didn't want to impose her opinion on Paige, which is understandable. But low-key, she was basically letting her know that now is not the time to be putting other people before yourself. I mean, you just met this man. Yes, you guys are legally married, but you don't really have a foundation of any sort. And then Vincent sat down with Chris, and he was just kind of like, man, basically you're messing up big time. He asked if they had gotten intimate, and he was just shaking his head like, dude, you're moving real quick and doing the most when you just are a hot mess. Chris wants to put on this I'm a man of God armor, but you're really just out here doing what you feel like doing. Both Brianna and Vincent were trying to be supportive, but in the back of their mind weren't really here for it. And when they met up after they had the talk with Paige and Chris, they were both on the same page, no pun intended, in saying that it would be a wrap. I mean, I don't understand what other option is there. Okay, so let's dive into Chris and Paige. I don't even know where to begin. First of all, I want to know, how did Chris present himself in a way that he was able to fool the experts? This dude is a complete clown. The minute he starts talking, everything that comes out of his mouth seems ingenuous. I'm just not sure what it is that he was able to pull out his bag of tricks so the experts can believe that he was a stand-up person that should be on the show, because he really is not. And the theatrics, I cannot. He was like acting like he didn't want to tell Paige what was going on. And then he wants to flip it on her asking, oh, what's wrong? I mean, you're sitting here with an attitude, acting like you're depressed, you're sad, you got some devastating news, and you're not sharing the news with your wife. Of course she's going to feel some type of way. And then he runs and grabs her arm and goes into the bathroom, turns on the faucet. He's just always doing the most. And so he finally tells her. Then they turn around and edit it so Paige is the one who actually breaks the news to Brianna first. And then you see him telling Vincent about it. I don't like the way this whole situation is going down with Paige and Chris. It's very awkward. It's very rude. And I'm low-key feeling like Chris may be making this whole story up just to get attention. And he's also trying to give Paige a way out. But she seems so desperate that she's willing to hold on to him when he's basically trying to do anything and everything he can. I mean, the guy dogged you out within 24 hours, letting you know that he's not attracted to you. That would have been my first sign to be out. Now he's telling you that he allegedly has a baby on the way. And you're sitting here saying, oh, you know, I think that God was the one who is ordaining my marriage. No, God did not send Chris. Like, it's more like the devil sent Chris, because I don't understand why he's doing what he's doing to Paige. And then he says things, she eats it right up. They were sitting at dinner. He was saying how, you know, he's going to support her in whatever decision that she makes, whether she stays or leaves. And if she leaves, he's going to chase after her. No, you're not, Chris. You're not chasing after nothing. You're not worried about nobody but yourself. And you're always throwing a tantrum. During the time that they were sitting talking to the other couples, he gets up and leaves Paige there. That was so rude and cowardly. Drop this bomb on everyone and then just leave Paige to be there dealing with it by herself. That is just rude. He is a very selfish individual. And the mere fact that he keeps adding God into the mix really, really upsets me, because as a man of God, you should know better, and you should actually be doing way better. You should not be treating Paige the way that you are treating her. And I have to hold Paige accountable to some extent also, because she's really just acting like she owes him something. You just met him. Like, she was telling Brianna how she felt it was starting to go in the right direction. What direction, Paige? What direction? Like, when was it ever going in the right direction? From the moment you walked down the aisle, he was not feeling you. And then he told his friends, he told your friends, he told his family. I mean, what else is it that you need for him to do so you can walk away? And I'm just like blown away that Paige is really like giving him so much grace and wanting to be there for him. As a human being, I understand that. But as a husband, I would be all set. Like, I don't know you from a can of paint. I just met you. In the last 48 hours, you've done things that can potentially ruin my life. You're sitting here telling Paige that you went to go pay respects to your ex-fiance's father because he passed away. But on the flip side, you was getting it in. Like, I just don't understand. I cannot wrap my head around Chris's behavior, the way he acts, the way he talks, the way he does everything. Because it's just kind of like, dude, man up. Like, why are you always acting like a victim when it's like you throw a bomb and then you hide your hands? Like, what are you doing? And then he gives Paige those lame fake apologies, and she's just kind of like, I just don't understand both of them. At this point, it was like Chris was getting on my nerves. Now Paige is getting on my nerves, because it's like, girl, get a backbone and understand that this is not good for you. You should have been like, I've known you for less than a week, and in that week, you've turned my whole life upside down. Like, I'm all set with you. And at dinner, she asked him whether or not he would consider getting back with his ex, and he completely dodged the question and started up with his shenanigans and saying, oh, it's all about you you're my wife. That's all that matters. You come before everything. You come before everyone. And he gave her that stupid rose. And I'm just like, Paige, wake up. Once her brother sees all this unfold, he's going to be furious because he was already not here for it in the beginning, letting her know about how marriage can be tough. But Chris, he don't need to be married to nobody. He needs to go figure out his own issues and deal with himself, because he is not a kind human being. Like, he is shady. He's a liar. He's a manipulator. And he is just, I just can't. And then he had the nerve to say, oh, I want to give you babies. What? Give me babies? Like, you need to worry about the baby that you allegedly have on the way. And the nerve of Chris to always be offended. He was big mad when Virginia put in her 2 cents talking about well, do you even know if that's your baby? Like, that definitely crossed my mind too, because it's just like, okay, like, why are you so sure that this is your baby? This cannot be real life. Like, this whole situation is crazy. I cannot stomach Chris. I just really cannot. I really want Paige to come to her senses and walk away. She needs to walk away and stop acting like she's so committed and that she has to stay by his side, because she doesn't. At this point, you've only known the man for less than a week and he's a complete hot mess. So please, Paige, walk away. Walk away. This show is driving me crazy, but it's like I can't stop watching. I cannot wait until next week. So be sure to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.